In this video, we'll learn how to install Tomcat server and execute servlet in JSP. These are the 4 steps to be followed to install Tomcat and execute servlets and JSP. So the first step is install Tomcat 9.0. To install Tomcat 9.0, download Tomcat 9.0 from the official website, and this was a download exe file. Just double click on it. Click yes, click next, and then select I agree. In this window you select host manager and then click next, and this 8080 is the default port number. Provide username and password, admin, and click next. That will install Tomcat in your system. So the Tomcat is installed in the C directory, program files, in the Apache Software Foundation folder. This was the installation directory of Tomcat 9.0. After installing Tomcat 9.0, the second step is to set the class path for servlet-api.jar file and jsp-api.jar file. These two jar files are available in Tomcat 9.0's lib directory. So these two are the two jar files. We have to set the class path for this. These two jar files contains packages required for writing servlets and JSPs. JSP-api.jar file and servlet-api.jar file. To set the class path for these two, right click on this PC or right click on my computer in your systems, select properties, and then double click on advanced system settings, select environment variables. Inside this you will find two types of variables, user variables and system variables. We have to set the class path for those two jar files in system variables. So in the system variables, click on new and then provide the variable name as class path, and then provide the variable values, the paths of servlet-api.jar file and the JSP-api.jar file. Separate them by using a semicolon. If the class path is already available in the system variable, just click on edit, select class path and click on edit, and then click on new and then provide the path in this row, and then click OK, and then click OK, and click OK. After setting the class path, then you have to start the Tomcat server. To start the Tomcat server, click on start menu, go to installation thing, Apache Tomcat 9.0, and then click configure Tomcat or click monitor Tomcat, whatever is required. You can click on monitor Tomcat, and then click yes, and then once you click on monitor Tomcat, you'll see this kind of window. Inside this window you can start and stop your server. Server is default started. Stop it, and click on stop. You can also see the monitor Tomcat icon in the below right side of the lab on the system. This was the monitor Tomcat icon. You can right click on it and you can start and stop the server. Once it is done, click open your browser and then select the URL and type localhost 8080. The Tomcat web server is started perfectly. You're able to see the home page of your web server. So this is the home page of your web server. Inside this, click on manage your app. So if you're starting the server for the first time, you have to provide the username and password what we have given at the time of installation. After that, you will see this container where it will show all the applications which we have kept in the web apps folder of the Tomcat 9.0 installation directory. These are all the applications which are there. And then see in the running status of every application, you will see all the trues. True indicates that application has been correctly placed in the folder structure, and then application has started. The true indicates that application has been started perfectly. If there is false in here in the running status, it indicates that there is something mistake in the folder structure what you have created in the web apps directory. Okay, we'll move to the folder structures. This was Tomcat 9.0 installation directory. In the local drive C, program files Apache Software Foundation. Just double click on Tomcat 9.0. You will find the web apps. These are all the applications which we have kept in the installation directory, and then those things are appeared in the web server. You can see those things are here. This was our web server's manager app page. These things, all the applications which are showing here are available in this directory. Okay, so to execute application, any servlet or any application, we have to create a folder here. After creating the folder, this was the first example folder what I have created. Inside this folder, you have to create the web-inf folder. Double click on it and then create classes folder. Inside the classes folder, you have to keep all the .class files here. Beside the classes folder, I mean this place, you have to keep the web.xml file, and then go back, and beside web-inf folder, we have to keep all the .html files, .jsp files, and other text files, whatever is required. So this was the folder structure we have to create. So I'm going to show you an example called color selection example. So this is a web-inf directory inside the color selection folder. That was the root folder. So beside web-inf folder, I've kept the .html file, which is index.html file. And I double click on web-inf folder, you're able to see the classes folder and the .xml file. Inside when I double click on the classes folder, you're able to see the class file of our servlet program. This hello.class file is the class file of this particular program. This was the HTML file, index.html file, and the method what we have used is get method, and the action element is .star hello action. This was the URL pattern what we are trying to send to the servlet using HTTP request. So this was the URL pattern which was kept in the web.xml file. So this URL pattern what we've given in the action element is matches with the URL pattern what we have seen in the URL pattern of your servlet mapping. So if these two matches, the server is able to execute the class file that is associated with the servlet name what we have given here. The servlet name what I have given here and the servlet name what I have given here, both are same. So once these two matches, this particular class file will be executed. Right, so we're going to check how the execution will be done. So once I move into the web server's container, we're able to see our folder here in the web server, and then its running status is true. Once the web server is showing the true running status, click on that particular color selection. It automatically opens the index.html file. If your HTML file name is index.html, the server will automatically opens the HTML file. So this is a program which helps us to choose our favorite color. I've chosen yellow, and then I clicked submit. Once I've clicked the submit, the hello URL pattern has been sent to the servlet, servlet has executed the associated class file for that, and then it says the color selected is yellow. If I check the program of the hello.servlet program, this was the thing. In the program, we are trying to retrieve the request.get parameter of color. It was there in the HTML file, you can check it out. So this was the name of my selection field, the name color. So we are trying to retrieve that color, whatever is chosen there, into the servlet by using get parameter of color. So I've written it, and then they printed as color selected is yellow. This was what we have seen in the output. If you want, you can run it again. Go back and then click with green and then click submit. It says the color selected is green. If you want to check once again, go back and then click red and then select submit. It says the color selected is red. So this is how we can execute servlets.